Okay, so you bought a soundbar, but if it's not sounding as good as you expected, you're definitely not alone. Because most of the time, the problem is in the soundbar itself. It's usually a few settings, a small placement mistake, or a feature that's turned off without you even realizing it. And the surprising part, some of these fixes take less than a minute, but can make a genuinely noticeable difference to the way your soundbar sounds. So in this video, I'll show you the most common soundbar mistakes and the simple fixes that instantly make your existing soundbar sound better. Hi, I am Pooja and welcome to ClearBuy. I spend my time testing TVs, soundbars and home appliances and sharing my honest real-world experiences with them. And after using a lot of soundbars over the years, I have noticed that most people miss a few simple things that can make a huge difference to the overall experience. So today, let's talk about some useful soundbar tips, tricks and common mistakes you should avoid. First mistake, and this is the biggest one, is how we are connecting your soundbar to your TV. Most people just use Bluetooth because it's the easiest, or they go with the aux cable. And honestly, that's where you lose almost half your sound quality. Bluetooth has audio compression. There is a slight lag. It just can't carry the full signal a soundbar is built for. Aux, plain stereo, no surround, no Dolby. The right way, HDMI ARC, or if your soundbar and TV both support it, eARC. That's the connection that carries Dolby Atmos 5.1 surround lossless audio. The full thing. So check the back of your TV. If you see a port labeled HDMI ARC or HDMI eARC, use that one. It's almost always there and the difference is huge. But just plugging in the right cable isn't enough because the TV side has two more settings most people forget. After connecting the soundbar properly, many people just leave the TV as it was. The TV is still playing through its own speakers in the background, or it's still pushing audio out as a basic stereo. The soundbar is connected, sure, but it's barely doing anything. So two quick settings to fix. First, go into your TV sound settings and set the audio output to the soundbar or HDMI, not TV speaker. Second, find the setting called digital audio output. If it's on PCM, change it to Bitstream, Dolby or Auto. PCM only sends basic stereo. Bitstream sends the full surround signal and lets your soundbar do what it was actually built to do. Two small settings, genuinely huge difference. Now this next one, when you open Netflix or Prime Video to watch a movie, by default the audio plays as original, which is usually basic stereo. Even if that movie was made in Dolby Atmos or 5.1, you don't get it unless you select it. So next time you start a movie, tap the audio icon during playback. You'll see options like English Original, English 5.1, English Atmos, depending on what's available. Pick the highest one, Atmos if it's there, otherwise 5.1. That's when your soundbar actually wakes up. Sounds coming from sides, behind you, overhead, the way the director meant it to sound. The first time you do this, you'll wonder why nobody told you earlier. Okay, settings done. But how and where you place everything matters just as much. A lot of people just put the soundbar wherever it fits. Inside the TV cabinet, behind a glass door, on a low shelf. Big mistake. Soundbars are designed to fire sound at ear level when you are sitting on sofa. If it's hidden behind glass or stuck inside a cabinet, the sound bounces around and get muffled. The right placement? Directly under the TV. In the open, either wall mounted just below the screen or on a flat surface with nothing blocking the front. Now the subwoofer, that wireless box for bass. Don't tuck it into a corner behind a sofa. Place it on the floor in the open, ideally on the same wall as the TV. Bass travels to the floor, so a hard, flat surface gives you that proper thump. Now, if you have a 5.1 system with raised satellite speakers, this is where most people get it completely wrong. Satellites are not meant to sit next to the soundbar. Place them behind your sofa, slightly to your left and right, a little above ear height, chest or shoulder level when you are seated. Angle them slightly towards you. That's when you actually feel sound coming from around you, real surround. And where should you sit? Right in the middle, equidistant from the soundbar in the front and the satellites behind. That's the sweet spot. Sit too far to one side and the whole surround effect collapses. One more quick thing. If your soundbar has Dolby Atmos with those upfiring speakers on top, your ceiling matters. A flat, normal ceiling around 8 to 12 feet high works best. Those upfiring drivers bounce sound off the ceiling, making audio feel like it's coming from above. Very tall, slanted, or wooden beam ceilings weaken the effect. And one more thing, for full lossless Atmos, you need an eARC connection on your TV, not just basic ARC. Basic ARC will still play Atmos, but a compressed version. Check your TV's HDMI port label to confirm. Now, once everything's connected and placed right, most people still don't tune their sound properly. Almost every soundbar has sound modes: music, movie, news, or voice, game, night. And most people just leave it on standard or auto for everything. That's a mistake. Each mode actually shifts the audio balance for that specific content. Watching a movie, use movie or cinema mode. It boosts surround effects and bass. Listening to songs, music mode, flatter, more balanced. Watching news or any dialogue heavy show, news or voice mode. It boosts vocals and pulls down the bass, so you don't miss a word. Watching a movie late at night when everyone's sleeping, night mode. Keeps dialogues clear but softens sudden low explosions. One click on the remote, big difference. And speaking of balance, here is the one thing people overdo every single time. The bass, the subwoofer. Almost everyone maxes it out because it feels powerful, right? Wrong. When the bass is too high, it drowns the dialogues. You start missing words. You raise the volume to hear better, and now the whole room is shaking. But you still can't understand what the actor is saying. The right balance: for movies, keep the subwoofer level around 60 to 70%. For music, 70 to 80%, depending on the genre. For news or daily shows, bring it down to 30 to 50%. Use the bass and treble buttons on your remote. One small tweak and suddenly everything sounds cleaner, sharper, more real. And the last mistake, this is the one that genuinely makes daily life easier. HDMI control, sometimes called CEC. Samsung calls it AnyNet Plus, LG calls it SimpLink, Sony calls it Bravia Sync. Same feature, different names. Once you turn this on in your TV settings, your TV remote will automatically control your soundbar's volume. You won't need two remotes. The soundbar will turn on with the TV, off with the TV. Clean, simple, one remote operation. Honestly, out of all 7 mistakes, this is the one that saves you the most daily frustration. Most people never enable it and they keep juggling 2 remotes forever. Now, before we wrap up, a few quick bonus tips you'll genuinely thank me for. 1. Update your soundbar's firmware. Samsung, LG, Sony, they keep pushing updates that fixes bugs and improve sound. Most people never check. Use the brand's app on your phone. Smart Things for Samsung, LG Thank You for LG, Sony Music Center for Sony. And look for updates. 5 minutes, done. 2. If dialogues still feel unclear after all the tuning, turn on voice enhancement. Almost every modern soundbar has it. Different brands call it different things. Voice enhance, clear voice, dialogue mode, but it's there. One toggle, sharper voices. 3. If you are a movie person, turn off auto volume. Yes, off. Auto volume makes quiet and loud scenes feel the same. Sounds nice in theory, but it kills the punch of a real movie. The whisper behind the explosion is supposed to feel quiet. Let it. 4. Explore smart modes. Many soundbars now have auto-adjust features. Samsung's Adaptive Sound is one example. It detects what you're watching and tweaks the audio automatically. Try it for a few days, see if you like it. And 5. Once everything is said, just sit in your normal spot. Play your favorite movie or song and nudge the bass and treble until it feels right to your ears. Forget what the manual says, forget what the reviewer says. Your room is unique, your ears are unique. Trust them. Honestly, just fix these tonight and your soundbar will sound noticeably better. Same product, no new spending. Just better setup. If this helped, hit that like. It really pushes the video to more people. And if you are still planning to buy a soundbar, I have reviewed several across budgets here on the channel. Go check them out. Subscribe so you don't miss the next test. And drop a comment which of these mistakes were you doing. I am genuinely curious. Until next time, don't just buy, ClearBuy. See you soon.